Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital, and welcome this morning to another video analysis and update on my beloved Solana. All right, we're going to do a full update right here. We'll talk about the fundamentals, which obviously right now with everything that's going on around Solana, the Solana ETF, etc., are still very relevant. But we'll also talk about the technicals, which are also not irrelevant. Given what's going on right now in the markets, right? I mean, the markets, especially yesterday, were very aggressively bullish. At least Bitcoin got a lot of volume. For Solana, the situation is still the situation is still the same technically, which is that we are consolidating mainly in this area between 142.5 and 160. So in that sense, it hasn't changed. But obviously, then the relation of Solana to the market has changed. Right, because Bitcoin has broken out. First, it was consolidating as well. So why hasn't Solana broken out? Is Solana weaker than the markets, or can we still expect a breakout a little bit later? That's what we'll talk about. So let's get right into it. First of all, as most of you know, I'm a big fan of Solana right now fundamentally. Do I think that technically you should be accumulating Solana? Yes, however, I would be quite picky and I would be quite conservative with your buys, right? So would I buy Solana right here? Probably not. And that's obviously personal preference, and that's based on my personal opinions on kind of more the medium term and the long term prospects of Solana instead of short term, which is mostly what we'll focus on in this video. But it's too risky, I would say, especially given where the price is right now in its current structure. However, the fundamentals for Solana are great, right? DEX trading volumes have been increasing and are quite incredibly high. The TVL could be doing better, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not great compared to January, but January was obviously amazing for Solana, and the prices were also trading much higher, right? So that much higher here were the prices. So yeah, the fundamentals long term are great. I just think, and I've spoken about this 2 days ago as well, that this ETF, look, the ETF, it's the same thing as the fundamentals we see right here. Fundamentals in crypto, short term don't matter often, right? Same thing with the Solana ETF. I think long term that has a lot of potential, but short term Grayscale has a massive Solana trust, a private trust with investors that are able to sell that trust more easily when the ETF comes out. And like we have seen with Bitcoin, like we have seen with Ethereum, I would very much recommend you to study the price action that those had when the ETF first launched. An ETF launch is not necessarily bullish for the price short term. So that in combination with the lack of strength we've seen from Solana so far. I mean, you can see the volume down here, or at least hopefully you can see it because it's quite small. What you can see is that, the volume that we had yesterday, if you look at the markets, it was incredibly strong. For Solana, there just isn't a lot of momentum. There just isn't a lot of volume. So can we break out? Yes, I think we can, right? So the main resistance level is right here between 160 and 164. If Bitcoin rallies above the 110s with a lot of momentum again, you betcha that Solana is going to break out and rally back into the yearly rolling VWAP around 175. Do I think it's most likely though? No. Do I think you should buy Solana because of that? No, because there's other altcoins that look better. There's other altcoins that are outperforming Solana. And if the market goes up, they will rally more than Solana will. So I would say at this point of time, given the fact that we are still within the range, given the fact that the fundamentals are good, but short term potentially not, and given the fact that so far we've not had a lot of proof of concept of momentum that Solana has right now with the bullish momentum we're seeing across the markets, I would say it's most likely we're just going up to the top of the range, we'll reject there, and we will revert back down to the bottom of the range right here for stability. And then maybe we'll even have a bearish breakdown if the ETF launches. But those are my thoughts for now, and I will keep you updated on that. Like I said, fundamentally a big fan of Solana, but trading it and starting to scale in at this point of time is tricky territory. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.